Good afternoon, traders. It's May 7th, a Thursday, and the first bar today was kind of quiet for the first 5 minutes, and then we started taking off a little bit and kind of bounced between some hurdles and all sorts of fun stuff. So, how you doing, George? How'd it go for you today?
Yep. I was in and out and done in the morning sessions, so that was good. I was just, well, off this channel. I was just talking to Bob about how I'd stepped away, went and did my afternoon stuff, and then came back and looks like the market absolutely collapsed on us. So we'll go through it and we'll tell you guys exactly how we laid it out and what we see and kind of how we see it going forward here. So I've kind of got the charts a little scrunched here a little bit because I want everybody to see this. So let me zoom down here. So if I scrunch back on the ES, it's the same repeating targets that we've been talking about just over and over and over again in our trading room because the market works in series, right? And this was a major series. You guys can go back and you can look at the videos from a day ago. You can look at the videos from 2 days ago. Like we had this called out days in advance as far as where the market was trying to get to. And here at the top, you can kind of see the repeating green bubble we kept laying out for folks. Said that that is the end of this series. The big blue bar that we drew back here on the, what is this? The 6th. So we had this mapped out way ahead of time. And with most rubber bands, especially ones that are like that far out into the future and that far advanced, like the distance between each of these targets is no joke, especially by ES standards. So either way, if I look and I just draw myself a line, the actual number was 7409 half, which again, you can review that in the past videos. So if I drew that line straight across, as you can see right here at 11 o'clock today, now that you guys get that reference, I'll just zoom back in here. We never got back above that rubber band. Like it just one tiny tick of a wick. So this was pretty well known in our room, and again, how we lay stuff out because we're projecting things that are going to happen later. In this case, days later. But here's what, I want to kind of explain some of these drawings actually up here because here's another decision point. It said that if the market wanted to, it was set up for it, right? So the setup is right here at 74, 1075. So the setup is here. So they've got to get through here. So what do we look for in our room is that the market actually gets above this level and then come back and retests it. Where? To go to the higher levels even still. So I'm not super anxious about it because I know that even if it gets above here, that it's got to come back and retest, and then I'll catch the move up to the remaining targets. If it does not get above here, then it's not making the decision to do so. So I can reference back to, what are the things that have already happened? What have we accomplished? What boxes have we checked, as I like to say in the room? And they've checked every single box as it pertained to that really big move. All right. So that's the setup. That was a really long one today. Sorry. So let's go to our 920 open bar. It's right here. We're messing around with the decision point. So we're kind of above it, below it, above it, below it. Not really making a big, like a decisive decision at the start of the trading day. I'm not sure if you were there or not, Bob, but the markets were mixed again. The NQ was going up at the open and the ES was dropping. So it made it an interesting start to the day. So what we knew, and we zoned it off right down here, we said that this is all fine and dandy. We're still trying to go up. They haven't collapsed anything. And here's our zone. Here's our hurdle. So we zoned this off and said, if it can't get below here, so this is not bad. Like it only wicked it by a little bit. But even if you maybe got wicked out, you wait for the retest. So it gets back above, comes back, retested it to the tick right here at 10 o'clock. So it was a great entry to still go long to get us back up to what we're talking about, sort of in the bigger picture. So as you'll see today, we don't have a lot of targets. No, actually, no targets were achieved today because they were deciding, are we really going to take it up or take it down? So here was the hurdle to the downside. So we knew this well in advance, probably a good half hour or more. And we posted the hurdle to the upside at 10:10, and it got there around 11:05. So same deal. Like you have plenty of time in our room to figure out like what are you going to do with the information that the market is providing. And naturally, I was done. I left the room after it made the climb up. I was done by 11. So I came back to see this massive slide down. So last thing that I'd laid out for folks is that even if all this is true, they can bring themselves all the way back here to the has to hold level. If they break that, then it's officially over. So here at 12:25. So thinking about this, I had this posted at like 6:10 in the morning. So at 6:10 in the morning, we knew that information. And here at 12, 20, it basically hit it darn near to the tick and then shot straight back up to surprise, surprise, our hurdle zone. Not a big shocker. So, all right, enough of that. NQ. Let's see. Did we hit any targets today? We did. We actually got targets on the or the NQ. They were still kind of grinding and moving. So NQ, I'll reference back to this one here. So this is the 2864. If I zoom back to yesterday, as a matter of fact, for anybody who watched the video yesterday, I think, weren't we filming at the time? I think we were recording at the time. This was kind of doing its thing. Maybe not. But either way, it's the same repeating level for the same targets.
Yeah, I think you were saying. I think you were saying you might go short there. That was either yesterday or day before.
That was 2 days ago. Yeah, I had mentioned that. Oh, that's what it was. I'll actually go back and watch the videos to confirm, but I'm pretty sure I said that the market was intending to get up here to the 869, 28,869. And like I said, matter of fact, I think I said, like come hell or high water, they're going to get there, whether you like it or not, because they've already made the decision. It was back here. So they made the decision. I just repeated it so people understood where the decision was and drew the big blue bar to say this was the entire scenario attached to having made that decision. Well, sure enough, we did get to that 869, and we even got to the 830. Didn't quite make it to the 969. I marked this one especially because if we'd have made it there, that would have been a totally different thing altogether. That would have been pretty impressive for one, but it would have also meant something else. But we didn't quite make it there, so that's okay. So let's find our 920 bar. 920 bar is right here. Let me zoom in, get all that out of there. So hopefully that's helpful for you guys that are watching. Like, what is it that we're actually doing here? It's very different than other trading rooms. Everybody else is saying like, we might go here, we might go there, and like, based on what? Like, are you just trying to capture 10 points? Okay. Now then you could probably watch price action. You might figure that out. But we're projecting like, where are we actually getting to in the long haul? So 920 is here. Yep. So we're fiddling around with the hurdle. It dipped. We had nothing called out in this area. I was hoping for it to get closer to this hurdle at 681, but when it climbed back up and came back for the retest, I finally got in long to take it up to the rubber bands. We got above the rubber bands. We got the retest right here, the 1020 candle. This was perfect. Got the retest of the rubber band. Same thing if I just drew this line straight out. This is what we talk about. If they can get above the rubber bands, this is what they do. They come back and retest them. And then they got to target. And then we always take profit, certainly on the core, as we reach things like expected highs. So it got to that kind of target, not target. And then they were super kind here on the NQ. They gave us a minor has to hold, which is great. And it hit it to the tick. It was perfect right there, 11:10. So in my mind, as I'm like exiting the room, I'm thinking, wow, they hit that thing to the tick. They really are going to take it up still. That's like, I was really watching this 969 up here. I was like, that's amazing. I can't believe they're going to go there. But I left, obviously came back, and they naturally failed it. But the nice part about the minor has to hold is it's minor. It doesn't take much. If they break it here, it's over. Like, don't try to chase that thing. in the long direction anymore. Yeah, and then they got all the way back down to the very bottom of our bar here. Sorry, our big blue bar. So they have officially, I'll double check this tomorrow, but I think they've officially broken. I think they did. I think they officially broke the remainder of these upside targets for today. That's it.
There you go. And tomorrow's Friday, and we do have some unemployment rate news at 8:30, so be on your toes. As you know, sometimes if it gets crazy, George probably doesn't do a lot of chart casting, but if it behaves kind of well and doesn't throw off all of his calculations, he does tend to put some stuff on the chart before we get together at 9:20. So those of you that have chart cast, your day can start much earlier. We don't commit to a specific time, but I would say just kind of watching my chart the last couple of weeks. George is usually on by at least 8:30, putting some stuff out there. So
yeah, I think tomorrow's news comes out at 8:30. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see. I might try to get some small targets if they're cooperating. So yeah, we'll see.
Sounds like a plan. And we'll see everybody tomorrow. And if you're not already in the room, what are you waiting for? Just kidding. Click the links down below and come join us. No obligation whatsoever.
Yep. It's free to come in. We'll check it out and see if it's a good fit for you. All right, guys.
Thanks a lot.